Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome back to Football Heritage TV. What a lovely Monday after an absolutely stunning victory for Tottenham Hotspur. Listen, I've been very critical and I will continue to be very critical. However, when credit is due, credit is due. And I'm old enough and ugly enough to say, what a wonderful, wonderful performance. And that is what you want to see as a Spurs fan. These are the days you want to be waking up as a Spurs fan and saying, what a performance. What a team performance that was yesterday. And Postecoglou got absolutely everything right, down from team selection through to the tactics, through to the pressing. We'll go into all of that. But listen, there's been many times when I can't work out what Ange is doing, and I think he's a bit naive. Yesterday was not one of those times. And if you're going to critique, I think you've got to credit as well. I think it's really unfair to just be all one way. And this was absolutely superb. I've gone as far to say I truly believe this has been the best performance by Spurs in the Ange Postecoglou era. Forget the 10 games at the beginning of last season. I don't think those 10 games we actually played like that. We played some good games. I just don't think it was like that. Forget Newcastle at home. Forget Aston Villa away. For me, this was the performance. This was the performance where I turn around and go, oh, that was different. That was special. And listen, you know me, I keep my feet on the ground. I'm not somebody who watches 2 wins in a row and says, oh my God, we're definitely top 4, or we're winning the league, or this is different. This is amazing. He's the best manager. No. I'm very much, as you know, consistency. But also what I am is a person where if what I ask for starts to happen, I can't sit here and just go, oh, I don't like it. You've got to like it. Now, it's early doors for me. Do I still have question marks about Tottenham Hotspur? Of course I do. Of course I do. Anyone would. But was yesterday the time for that? No. Was yesterday evening the time for me or for any other Spurs fan to be talking about, yeah, but the defence, but the high line and Man U are poor and better teams to face? No. Are all of those things still true? Yeah, of course. But I said before the Brentford game, right, we've lost 2 in a row now. I'm talking league here, by the way, people. Talking league. We'll talk about the cups in a minute. I sat here a week ago and said, or before the Brentford game, I said, right, we've lost 2 games in a row. We now have to go on a run. We have to get consistency into this football team. And whilst I don't think consistency is 2 wins in the league, it's a brilliant start. And I said, can we beat a tricky Brentford that gave Man City a good game? Tick. Done. 3 points. Bish, bash, bosh, done. Then we said, okay, good. Let's not go overboard. We're not winning a league title. Can we back that up with an away win against Man United? Tick. Done. Brilliantly. We'll go into the game in a minute. Absolutely, we did. And for me, what was so much more than the 2 wins in a row, what was so much more than beating Man United was the fact that we haven't won an away game against a better team for a very long time. That was very pleasing to see. Yeah, Man U are in a mess, but Man U have had 3 clean sheets so far this season. They were neck and neck with us in the league. So to go there, to win in the manner that we did, that for me signals the intent to move forward. Superb. No one can mock that. No one can knock that. I think if there are any Spurs fans still going, oh, we're rubbish, we can't change, but I don't think that's very true. But each to their own. What also is very important for me was the fact that it's the first time in months and months and months with the away win, but the first time in months and months and months we've put 2 wins together. Now, as I said, 2 wins together doesn't suddenly make me go, yeah, we're a shoo-in for top 4, or yes, we're in a title race. I'm not that easily flip-flop. I don't do that. What I do think is if that is what is to come week in, week out, I'll sit back and shut up. And I'll go, Ange, you're correct. I'm just a football fan. You crack on. But that has to be seen, right? That has to be seen. At the moment, Spurs, so far our form this season has been draw, win, lose, lose, win, win. For me, can we stop that? And can it be that? And this is a wonderful start towards that. You know, Brentford, yes, they had a lot of injuries. Yes, Man United are poor at the moment. But you can only beat who's in front of you. And those 2 wins set it up nicely to go to Brighton and get a third win in a row. Suddenly you win 3 games in a row, the confidence that will be oozing through the team. I'm not saying it's not there after yesterday, but even more. And it will be going to 2 teams in and around us. I believe both will be in and around us at the end of the season. Man United and Brighton will both, for me, be anywhere in between that kind of 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th spot. Go to Brighton, get the win, and all of a sudden, I can sit there and go, you know what? Maybe I was too hasty. But it's fine lines in football, isn't it? It's fine lines, because if we lose the next 2, they don't mean anything. So look, for me, I think absolutely brilliant. I do think that we'll go into the game in a minute. What I think it's a real shame, though, as a fan base right now. And I'm not saying all the fan base, of course it's not. I think it's a real shame that there's a selection of people online that when Spurs have a magnificent win, their first thought is to abuse other people. I think that's a real shame. And not just me. Seeing lots of other people last night. Oh, where are the clowns that said this? Where are the clowns that said that? These fake fans. You know, whoa, hang on. When critiquing, I will critique what is happening at the time. So, for example, when I'm sitting there going, look at Spurs' form. We've lost X amount of games in X amount of games. We've conceded this many. We've not won away. Those things are true at the time. Now, what I want to do is I want to sit here in 3 months' time and go, cool. Look at this form. We've played 25. We've won 19, 18. We've drawn 3, lost 3. Look at this superb form. That's what I want to be doing, right? This is nicely leading up to that. But for me, I'm always mindful. I'm old. I'm ugly. I've seen this before. I've seen Tottenham do this. And I think a lot of the older fans, it is a lot of once bitten, twice shy. We've had great performances. We've had superb performances. So, for example, last season, we battered Villa away, then went to Fulham and lost 3-0. And it's like, oh, what are we doing? Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen this time, but I always keep my feet on the ground because it could happen, right? I'm not saying it will. I don't think people need to hear this. I'm not saying it will, but for me, I always talk about consistency. And listen, for me, I'm not sitting here saying that I think Andrew's got every game right. Every game wrong. But yesterday, he got it sensationally right. And all I'll say to round that off, football fan, like I thought we're meant to be a Spurs fan base where when Spurs win, we're happy, right? And I just didn't understand a lot of the reaction last night to other fans that have critiqued that when Spurs do finally get a really good away win, apparently everything they've said in the past, they're idiots for saying it. And it's like, well, hang on. If we're going to praise results like yesterday, then we have to critique the defeats. That's life. That's nature of being a football fan. Yesterday was so pleasing for me in so many ways. It was that elusive away win against a bigger club. It was. Man United are a mess. Yes, Man United are a mess. As I said, Man United have kept 3 clean sheets this year in 5 games. So it wasn't like a team that was leaking goals. Yes, they got beaten easily by Liverpool, but that's Liverpool. So for us to go there and do to them what Liverpool did and get the same scoreline, really pleasing because I think Liverpool are a top football team. So that was really, really pleasing to go and do that. We can look at the negative and say, man, you're a mess and blah, blah, blah. Listen, Spurs, I think Spurs have been under a bit of pressure. So no matter what people say, the league form hasn't been good. And had we have lost yesterday, it leaves you way off of the top 4. So for me, yesterday was a pivotal win. And it wasn't just the fact that for smash and grab or we won by hook or crook. It's that we went there and dominated. And for me, from minute 1, from second 1, we absolutely dominated. I think there was maybe a 10-minute spell in the second half where our foot came off the gas. Man United realised that, okay, we've got to at least try to do something, where they had a few chances. Other than that, I think Tottenham dominated from second 1, from our attacking intent, our pressing, our winning the ball back, the work rate of the players, the domination in midfield. And I'm going to talk about the midfield in a minute because I'm going to praise Ange on something in a minute. The domination in the midfield, the hunger to win the ball back from people like Van der Ven and Romero. I thought Pedro Porro was excellent as well yesterday. I thought Adogi was excellent. So for me, I think there was so much praise for Brennan Johnson getting in the right position, grabbing another goal. As I said before, he's not my favourite player. I don't really enjoy watching him, but he keeps getting in position and scoring goals. I can't ask for much more than that. Do I want to see more with the ball, running at players, beating a man, a bit of skill? Sure. But when a player has scored 4 and 4, fair play to you. Doesn't mean I have to rate him as a footballer, but fair play. Solanke, I don't think he's done a lot in the last 3 games from an attacking aspect. He's got his 3 goals. He's got his 3 goals. And when all is said and done, strikers will be judged on goals, and he's got 3 and 3. So do I think he's scored any worldies? Do I think he's done anything magnificent? No, but what he does do, he's always in the right place. I'll give him that. He's always in the right place. And his work rate off the ball is sensational. No one can take that away from him. His pressing, his work rate, his desire. Yeah, some of his hold-up play, some of his first touch isn't great. But you know what? If you score more than you in more games than you don't, no one's going to care. It's the same with, I'm not liking him to Erling Haaland, but when people go, oh, Erling Haaland, all he does is scoring goals. So for me, look, fair play to those two, fair play. Look, I even think that Timo Werner had a nightmare in front of goal. And I feel in 2 ways about Timo Werner's performance yesterday. I think he does all the hard work. This is the frustration of the man. This is why I don't think he should be at Spurs. He done all the hard work. He got into all the great positions. And then the easy bit, which is the last bit, he just messes up. But I don't want to focus on that because yesterday I thought was sensational. And I really think, can we carry that on? I'm not talking, but we could talk about Europa League and Ferencvaros at another time. For me, I'm more concerned about the league. I'm more concerned about the league for the obvious reason that that's where Daniel Levy will want to focus on. He will want to focus on finishing as high up as possible, right? Yes, we want cup runs. Yes, we want to win a cup. And I want to win that Europa League more than anything. But you've got to maintain what you're doing in the league. And this win, for me, just keeps Spurs in and around there, right? It just keeps us in and around there. And I'm going to bring up the league table because yesterday it could have been very, very different, right, had we have lost. That's why I think this is, again, a win where under pressure we got this win. Normally, over the years, when you think Spurs were under pressure in this game, or if we win this happens, we don't. We buckle. Yesterday, I thought we were sensational in all aspects. So if we look at the league table there, I think it was really, really important. If we hadn't have won that game, we would be just below Nottingham Forest down there in 11th. So I think this was really, really important that what we've done is we've closed that gap. And it might only be 6 games. But what you can't do is you can't start having a 6, 7, 8 point gap to those top 4 teams. So we've kept ourselves within 3 points of Chelsea, who are in 4th, and Villa as well, who are 5th. We kept ourselves there. We've positioned ourselves that one win against Brighton, and we're right back in the pack. That was fundamentally the most important thing for me. Can we beat Brighton? Well, there's no reason why we can't beat Brighton. Will we? I don't know. Brighton this year I've seen have been magnificent, and Brighton I've seen have been really poor. But they also like to play a high line. So I think it could be a very interesting game, very interesting dynamic. But let's not look too far ahead. Let's worry about the now. For me, a great performance. And thank you, because I think so many people came in with great messages yesterday after the game. And, oh, Savra, it's good to see you happy. Well, yeah, I'm happy when Spurs batter teams. I'm happy when we play well. And credit where it is due. I thought Postecoglou got it absolutely spot on. As I said, I will critique and I will praise. I don't believe that people should just berate, and I don't believe that people should just praise. I think there needs to be a middle ground. Yeah? Even Pep Guardiola, who wins league after league after league, gets berated, right? So there has to be a level of critiquing, praising, berating, whatever. There has to be allowed for that to happen, or it is an echo chamber. What I would say is this. If your first thought yesterday was to go and abuse somebody or look for receipts, I find it all a bit silly. There's a long way to go. What I think I'm seeing most sensible Spurs fans say is, what a win. let's kick on. That's the camp I'm in. What a win, let's kick on. Let's not win against Brentford, win against a win against Man United away, and then follow that up with a defeat to Brighton. Let's kick on. That's where I'm at. Let's kick on. Let's, yesterday, I always say, let's talk more walk. Yesterday was all walk and no talk. It was brilliant. That's what you want. And listen, there's a few things I'm gonna say here. Let's have some happiness over hate for a little bit in this Spurs fan base, shall we? I don't ever remember this growing up. I don't remember this up until the last 5 or so years. I never remember it being Spurs would win and fans straight away have a go at each other. It used to be that everyone was happy. And now we can't even get that 1 minute after the game of happiness. You know what? During the watch-along, I loved it. Anyone who watched my watch-along, I loved the football we played. I couldn't have been more praise. I couldn't have lavished more praise on Ange and the team yesterday. And then straight away in the chat afterwards, people coming out as though we've won the league. And this is what I hate. It's, oh, you're in the mud, you're wrong. Well, about what? Currently, Spurs are sitting 8th. We've won a couple of games. That's great. Kick on. But I think people go one way or the other. We're not getting relegated and we're not winning the league. So when people sit there and say, you're in the mud, first of all, it's very childish. Second of all, it's really cringe, people asking for apologies. And I'm going to tell you why. Oh, where's your apology for Ange? Where's your apology for Brennan Johnson? Let's look at this. I've heard these things being said before about Conte, who's no longer our manager. Jose, who's no longer our manager. Pochettino, no longer our manager. Right? I remember when Nuno Santos won his first 3 games as Spurs manager. Oh, where's all the haters now? Where's the apologies for Nuno? Didn't last very long. Now, I'm not saying Ange won't last very long, but things change very quickly in football. And that's why I like consistency. I like consistent results before I start seeing children on the internet. And it is children. I think if you are over the age of 18 and you are saying, where's the apology for this player? Or you're in the mud, I think you're a bit of a donut. Really, if we're going to be honest, they're the people I don't really want on my channel, right? It's really childish. I remember hearing this for Eric Dyer. Eric Dyer would have a couple of good games. Where's the apologies for Eric Dyer? Then all of a sudden he's deadwood and needs to go. Same with Ndombele. Same with Lo Celso. We had this with Lamela. Sissoko would have a couple of good games. Where's all the haters now? I just think people need to let players do it consistently over a year, 2 years, a year at least, if not 2 years. Then say, well, they've shut people up. And you go, yeah, they have. We're in an era now, though, where a couple of league games and a couple of cup games against Qarabag and Coventry, and suddenly it's, this player's amazing. Look at what this player does. And, of course, we all want every player to be amazing. But can we just wait for some consistency? Brennan Johnson's in great goal-scoring form, sure. No one's denying that. But all of the people with apology forms, the only people that should be apologising to Brennan Johnson are the ones that abused him, right? Other than that, every fan out there is allowed to critique a football player. Whoever it is, every football player out there gets critiqued. I remember Ryan Giggs at one point. Man United fans wanted Ryan Giggs out, one of the greatest Premier League players that ever played. And there were fans booing him, wanting him out because he was having a poor year. And you think to yourself, look, consistency is absolutely key. I'm really pleased for Brennan Johnson. I'm really pleased to see the smile on his face. As I said, is he my favourite player? No. Do I enjoy watching him play? No. Does that mean I take away from the fact that he scored 4 and 4? No, of course it doesn't. He's done bloody well. He's got in the right positions. He scored the goals. I can't knock that. I don't want to knock that. But does that mean I then have to, oh, I'm so sorry, Brennan, you've scored in 4 games. You've scored for 2 weeks. You've scored some goals. I need to apologise. I don't think we need to be that childish or cringy. Let's do this over a couple of years. Let's get consistency into these players, into the manager, into the performances. And it's been a wonderful start towards that. I can't be more complimentary. And I'm a big fan of moment in time versus destination. And what I mean by that, moment in time versus destination. There's been many occasions in the last 10, 15 years, 20 years where managers are having a great spell. Players are having a great spell. Fans lose their mind. This is the start of something amazing. We're going to win a league. We're going to win a trophy. Great. And we all want that. But it doesn't always last. And that's what I mean. There's a moment in time where everything is great versus the destination, which we never get to. So for me, I'm an older fan, I suppose. I suppose there could be a lot there could be a lot more people older than me. But I'm an older fan in the sense that I have supported Tottenham for 40 years. Once bitten, twice as shy is probably an underestimation. It's probably once bitten 300, 400 times as shy. I want to see that it continues to go in this fashion. Some very good wins. I think we're gonna round that off with a win against Ferencváros. And then Brighton, go out there and do it again. Go out there and do it again. And for me, I said, didn't I, before these 7 games from Man United all the way through to Man City that takes us up to the 1st of December, what can we do in those 7 games? And I said, after those 7 games, if the consistency is there, if the performances are there, if the points are on the board, I'll turn around and go, do you know what? Shut it up. Brilliant. Crack on, Ange. And this is a great way to start it. So look, I'm really happy. I think I've spoken to other YouTubers this morning. A lot of people getting a lot of hate in their chat as though we lost. Great performance. I'm really happy with it. Long may this continue. And I just want to say, I was really worried about our midfield, and at times I still am. But fair play to Ange, because he's managed to get this kind of trio of Bentancur with 2 attacking midfielders in terms of Kulu and Maddison functioning really well. And I'll be honest, I think there's going to be games where it might be 2 attacking, but it's starting to click. And I think Maddison and Kulu both look comfortable in this. So I wouldn't have thought this would happen. Fair play to him. I still want new midfielders at this football club, but I think what he's done is taken an average group of midfielders, limited the number of those that playing just one of them in Bentancur, and then adding the 2 attacking midfielders. Yeah, because I think Basuma's inconsistent. Sarr's inconsistent. For me, Archie Gray, I don't think he's ready. That's just my opinion. And Bergvall, for me, again, I don't think he's quite ready. I think when you watch him a lot, I think he's trying too hard, gives the ball away every time he comes on, because I think he's trying too hard. So for me, I think what he's done there, I think is sensational. Credit where it's due. Is it going to work every game? I don't think it will. I think against the better teams, that might struggle. But at the moment, it's working, and it's working well. Fair play to James Maddison. I think James Maddison's been excellent so far this season. His work rate is pressing. Yeah, he's going to want to add some goals to his game. But some more goals to his game. But he's got some assists. He's got a goal. His pressing has been brilliant. He's working hard. And also Kulusevski, who I do not rate on the right wing at all. I'm really enjoying watching the guy at the moment in midfield. I really am. And I just don't rate him on the right. I don't think he's a winger at all. And I've been really pleasantly surprised with the performances from Kulusevski in that midfield position. And yesterday, I think he had a record high number of chances created at Old Trafford in the Premier League era. He got a really wonderful goal. I saw Iggy say on his video this morning that, one thing he needs to add is a lot more goals. And he started that off brilliantly yesterday. But yeah, like Iggy said, yeah, he was fantastic yesterday. It was phenomenal. He was my man of the match. I know a lot of people went for Van der Ven, who was also sensational. But look, I was really pleased with Kulusevski. Look, all positives from yesterday. We move on. I fully expect us to beat Ferencváros. I really, really do. And then we move on to Brighton, which won't be easy. But is it going to be the Brighton that started the season so well? Or is it going to be the Brighton that looked like they were going to concede 10 to 15 goals to Chelsea? So it's in our hands. A win on Sunday really does put us right up there with the top 4 and allows us to go on a really good run. So fair play to Ange. Fair play to the players. Onwards and upwards. And if we could just get a little bit of unity in the fan base, it would be absolutely wonderful. By the way, we have got Debate Sava tonight at 6:30 p.m. Anyone is welcome to come on and debate me. Again, it's more about if there's something that you think we might differ on, come on and we'll have the conversation. It's really no point people coming on who agree with everything I say, it doesn't really make for a good show and good viewing. But again, this week it's going to be limited to 10-minute slots. If anyone wants to come on, have a subject in mind. I won't be giving you the subject. You give me the subject. We'll have a debate about it in a friendly way, of course. 10 minutes each call. Have your camera on. Be in a quiet place. Be wearing some clothes. And you know what? Spurs fans, we should be very happy right now. Whilst this is happening, let's be happy, because in my experience, things change very quickly in football. Let's hope that's not the case this time. Let's hope we really kick on here. But Tottenham, Ange, the players, this is a great moment. Yesterday was a very good game. Let's leave all the debating and the arguing and the trolling to the Man United fans. Take care. Bye-bye.